Hey everybody, and welcome back to We the Revolution. It's been a little while since I recorded this, so sorry it's taken a little while to get back into it. I've set myself a schedule that I think that hopefully I'll be able to keep. But you know what? Since I'm not sharing that schedule with you, what does it matter? Because I can just do whatever I want. But no, seriously, I'll try to be a little more consistent here. So let's get back into it. I believe we have already read some of this. So let's, at least this one thing. This man here, Antoine Tinville. Welcome, citizen fidèle. My name is Antoine Quentin Fauquois de Tinville. I'm the public prosecutor that has been assigned to assist at every tribunal, starting from today. Okay, sure. I should warn you that I am uncompromising, although I hope that we find common ground. In happier news, the construction of the guillotine has been finished. We may begin using it today. Yes, we've seen it. The king is gone. Treason. Anyone with information to his whereabouts should immediately disclose it to the authorities. Yep, we've read this. And this is, I think, where we ended off, but let's just remind ourselves what's going on. The common folk like us a lot. The revolutionaries are eh. We have a good relationship with our father. And we have a good relationship with our younger son. Because we have a good relationship with our father, that means the common folk like us just a little more. Let's read the case files. This is rape and burglary. Oh, we're starting off real heavy here. Jean Hebert, the famous street urchin who killed the governor of the Bastille, Delaunay, I'm sure I'm pronouncing that way wrong because I just completely left out an A in that, and carried his head on a pike, has recently been detained. After the triumph of the revolution, he reached his nadir of his life. Though many people still consider him a hero, they do not care that the Parisian archives are filled with complaints about thefts, robberies, and assaults on women. The current case is much graver, as Hebert is accused of raping 16-year-old Elodie de Pontalba. The charges were brought by the victim's father, Baron Thomas de Pontalba. It is widely known that de Pontalba was a relative and a friend of Governor Delaunay. So, did he really do it? So the question they're going to bring up is, did he really rape this girl? Or is this a plot to to frame him to get back on his killing the governor of the Bastille? The crime allegedly took place in the tenement belonging to the victim's family. Jean was detained by people working outside while trying to escape the building. Well, I mean, he was detained, so he's there. LD gave a written statement saying that the incident took place on a holiday, and Jean used the absence of the Baron and most of the servants to break into her tenement. Once he was inside, he entered her room and raped her. Okay. Number 2. Looks like we have 3 pages on our desk, but only 2 pages. The incident was witnessed by Anne Michel, Elodie's governess. It was she who alarmed the workers about disturbing noises coming from her charge's room. A number of witnesses felt obliged to inform us that Anne Michel is known for her psychotic jealousy and her numerous romances with people of France. Well, I mean, that doesn't matter. Her psychotic jealousy doesn't matter unless she was somehow jealous and mad at Jean Hebert and she's setting him up. But why would the girl lie about that then? And this is okay. So there was a third thing. Anne Michel's testimony. Usually in the morning, Miss Elodie and I read. However, the chef had that day off, so I was preparing tea. Then I heard screaming. I ran to her room, but stopped when I heard a male voice. I was scared and asked for help. Okay. Oh, so these are 3 separate things. The result of the medical examination. The examination revealed the following. Let's not read that word. So there's evidence of, say, physical activity, bruising and hemorrhaging of the arms, spine, and face. So she was really beaten as well. Let's unlock some questions. So, accusation, offender's personality, method, extenuating circumstances, testimony, and motive. Break-in at the tenement is definitely an accusation, right? That's not an accusation? Come on. I'm accusing you of breaking in. How is that not an accusation? What is wrong with you, game? Do I just not understand what you're asking me? Famous defendant is the offender's personality. Okay. Multiple complaints is extenuating circumstances? Oh, come on, game. Rape. Accusation. There we go. Governor of the Bastille's relatives. Oh, is break-in a method? Oh, okay, it's not a method. This is stupid. This is real stupid. We already selected. Or we can select them more than one time? Oh, we can select them more than one time. But not break-in. And not famous. There was testimony about rape. There you go. To Pontalba's house. The governor of the Bastille's relatives. That's extenuate. That's motive. There we go. Okay. 3 questions to reveal and multiple things to select. So didn't we select multiple complaints as testimony? Or did we select extenuating circumstances for that? Testimony? Oh, did we already select that? One more chance. Famous defendant. Elodie de she gave testimony. All links have been used. Your mentor's help cost you 2 influence points. Okay. Accusation. Okay. Famous defendant. Testimony. Extenuating circumstances. Maybe this is a trap. Like, this doesn't matter. Testimony? Question discovered. Okay. De Pontalba's house is offender's personality? Oh, that was the trap. Okay. I don't understand. Like, I don't understand, game. What am I clicking on and why? It's not apparent to me. If it is apparent to you, like if you understand, if you're watching this and you're like, oh, you're so dumb, Awesome Corn Possum, you definitely should have clicked it this way. Help me. Tell me why. Just write out a quick thing. I'll reply with a comment and thank you. Just help me to understand if you understand, because I don't. So, the common folk and the revolutionaries both want him to be acquitted. Because he's famous among them. I gotcha. So let's talk about it. They're bringing in Jean. We're with you, Jean. Please introduce yourself. Jean Libert, the conqueror of the Bastille and vanquisher of the tyrant de Launay, the hero of all Parisians. Jean Libert, you are accused of raping Miss Elodie de Pontalba, daughter of the Baron Thomas de Pontalba. Do you plead guilty? I don't plead anything. That bourgeois, the bourgeoisie, the bourgeois and her counter-revolutionary father are filthy liars. We need to bear in mind that the possibility of criminal collusion in the charges. That's right, those rich swines love their machinations. The evidence speaks against you. Girlish duplicity and de Pontalba's plots prove nothing. So what, you're saying that this was consensual and then until it's not? Is that what you're saying? Did you know Miss Elodie de Pontalba before the incident? Did you know that Baron de Pontalba is a relative of... How did you break into the tenement? Do you find a particular pleasure in abuse of women? Calling the woman as a witness? Did you choose her as your victim because she's related to Delaunay? The victim is but a frail girl. Do you really have to beat her up that badly? And then something we didn't find. Something to do with, I guess, the multiple complaints. Did you know her before the incident? She flirted with me every time she visited the Café Proclapé, and she came to every dispute between Denton and Marat. I finally gave that girl what she was asking for. So you admit your guilt. Yes, but it wasn't rape. Show me one girl that wouldn't say no to a hero. You say that you met her at the Café Proclapé. I highly doubt that such a young lady would go to a place like that all by herself. Who said she was alone and brought her? And everyone knows she likes to have fun. You're talking about Anne Michel, Miss Elodie's governess? That's right. So it's not the first time you entered the house of the victim? What victim? Anyways, yes. I was there a few times and I know it well. Let me just say that Anne Michel and I have explored every, we don't want to hear any more, Jean. Spare us the details. The old whore took the young whore for a walk. Okay. How did you break in? He's going to say, I didn't break in. They let me in. You didn't have to beat her up that badly. The victim is a frail girl. Did you really have to beat her? Why would I beat her? I didn't even have to undress her. She removed her clothes by herself. She jumped out of her dress, unfastened my belt, and we don't need to hear the details. Monsieur le juge, I can tell you everything in great detail if you want me to. I don't want you to. Did she take her clothes off because you threatened her? She would have threatened me if I had refused her. Go on, we're listening. Silence. If you want gossip, go to the market. Uh-oh. We're leaning more towards chopping your head off, dude. Did you choose her because she's related to Delaunay? I didn't know they were related. Then why her? She was young, soft-skinned, and very eager, if you really want to know. Are you suggesting that it was Miss de Pontalba who initiated the intercourse? Who did what? Ah, did she ask for me to caress her? Oh, she desperately wanted that. She dreamed about me for a long time. Alright, let's call the witness. Citizen, what is your name? Anne Michel, Miss Elodie de Pontalba's governess. What do you know about the case? Hebert is guilty and should be killed. He used our relationship to get closer to the Baron's daughter and hurt her. What do you mean? He knew exactly when the servants had a day off and when the Baron left for the Legislative Assembly. Did he learn those facts from you? Not directly. He paid me several visits at Baron de Pontalba's house. Did it occur to you that he may use this knowledge against the Baron's family? See, did the Baron know anything about your meetings? No, the Baron had more important things to worry about than the personal lives of his servants. Why did you neglect your duties and stop looking after the victim? That day, the Baron ordered me to take care of the house. Miss Elodie didn't have any classes and was spending time in her room. And you did not hear the accused entering the building? No, I was busy in the kitchen. I wasn't alerted until I heard screams of a struggle and Miss Elodie's screams, or sounds of a struggle and Miss Elodie's screams coming from her room. I find it baffling you did not hear anything before then. I can't explain that, but I was making a lot of noise while cooking. Is watching the house not one of your responsibilities? Well, yes, but I can't be in two places at once. Well, he's already said that they didn't know they were relatives. How did you break in? Why would I break in? I used the back door. How do you know about that entrance? The Baron's daughter told me. She also informed me that her beloved father and most of the servants wouldn't be at home. She told you to visit her for that specific purpose? She was giving very clear signs. All aristocrats are whores. Are you saying that you came to Baron de Pontalba's house at the invitation of the victim? That young bitch promised me a nice afternoon. She explained everything in detail. Let's let them go. Quiet, people. The judge is beginning to understand. Remain calm, and he will soon let me go. Doubtful. Do you find a particular pleasure in the abuse of women, sir? Why would I abuse women when there are nicer things to do with them? Well, unless they like it. Are you suggesting that the victim wanted to get raped and beaten? I didn't force her to do anything, and I definitely didn't beat her. The medical examination proves clearly that she was injured. Better ask de Pontalba who battered her. He was furious when he found out who was in bed with his sweet daughter. Are you suggesting that he assaulted his daughter because she consorted with you? It wouldn't surprise me. Aristocrats do worse things than beating their own children. Alright, did you know they were relatives? No, but that explains a lot. The whole case was conjured up by de Pontalba. He wants to get rid of me because I freed France from a tyrant. Delaunay's family should have been executed a long time ago. So you would not call rape an instrument in the war against the monarchists. Monarchists should be decapitated, and their daughters should be thanking the heroes of the revolution. That's right. Silence, we're talking about a young girl who was raped. Alright, we're down to imprisonment, I guess. Nothing more I can ask you? The jury says imprisonment. Let's give the verdict. Well, let's check this file first. This is just the history. Did the defendant confess to the crime? Oh, I've never checked this before. Well, he did. What is all this? Was his act... Defendant confessed to the crime. I think he confessed to, yes, he confessed to not rape, but he did confess to having physical relations with her. Yes. Was his act counter-revolutionary in nature? I don't think we've actually decided on that, so no. What made the defendant famous in the eyes of the people? Storming the Bastille. Okay, so what's that? Why is that important? What's that? Like, now I can just read the history. Okay. Like, what is the point of this? All right. The jury votes in favor of incarcerating the defendant. They find the punishment sufficient. If we killed him, the revolutionaries would dislike us. The common folk would really dislike us. If we send him to prison, they'll still dislike us. If we acquit him, everyone loves us. But you know what? Prison it is. I think that's getting off pretty lightly, sir. We'll take a hit. I guess we have to fill this stuff in. Judge's signature. Citizen Jean Lebert will go to jail. Take him away. Is that all? The rapist should pay with his head. Well, more than just his head. Oh, apparently that was not a right thing. That was an incorrect choice. I mean, he did confess to something, but I guess not that particular crime, huh? So 2/3 job. Okay, so that's the defendant, or the guy over here, accepting whether I said things were right or not. Got a little reputation and influence. Revolutionaries -3, common folks -4. Okay, goodbye, Jean. Nice knowing you, dude. Now it is house time. Due to the establishment of a revolutionary tribunal, we need to prepare an official stamp. I was told to ask you, citizen, because President de Villiers is indisposed. Okay. Well, thank you for coming to dinner. I can't help but notice we didn't give you a plate. That seems pretty bad hospitality. How much did he drink? He was not able to say. Shall we? Design your stamp. Let's go pretty plain. Just a plain. I mean, that's sort of a fleur-de-lis, but not really. Do we want a raven? A chicken? Raven? Rooster? Snake with a compass? A axe head? Scales of justice? There's a lot. There's so many. Okay, we'll go with the old liberty here. The blind justice. And do we want a bottom? How about that? No, that doesn't look good. Because it's kind of off-center from the... It's like off-center from her feet, which is kind of annoying. That's, I think, probably the better one. Okay, so there we go. That's it. That's our stamp. Thank you for your time. I know it's late. The stamp should be ready tomorrow. Good night. Achievement unlocked. We designed a stamp. Alright, how should we deal with our family? Looks like we should probably get our wife to like us a little more. Maybe our older son. Work on tomorrow's trial. No one likes that. You will unlock more questions in court. More question effects. Political debate. Our father doesn't like it, but our sons do. The viola concerto. Our father doesn't like it, but everyone else does. Bernard needs to learn how to deal with stage fright. If he wants to be a professional musician, he will have to endure an hour of racket. But it seems like everyone likes it except for the father. Take your family on an evening stroll around Paris, unless your father stretch his old bones a little. Am I not understanding? The red? I thought the red lets your father stretch his old bones. So why would he be red as if he did not like it? He doesn't like walking? Let's go with the viola concerto and see. Does it reduce our father's points and increase everyone else's? Do we understand the difference between red and blue? Yep, goes down. And everyone else didn't quite get to the bonus. Didn't quite get to the bonus. Really up there. And somehow they influence each other. Seems simple, but not very simple. So, this is Act 1, Day 4. I might just go ahead and end this episode. It'll be a little shorter than what I normally do, because it's only 20-some minutes instead of 30. But I think we went through a day, and maybe a day seems like a good cutoff point. So, I guess I will call it there, and we'll catch up with them maybe in a week or so. Probably, hopefully less than a week. We'll see what my schedule's like. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I know that's terrible. But thanks for joining me. Hope you enjoyed it. And hope to see you again next time.